Welcome back to the Love Talk Show, and today we are trying to understand how can people somehow manage to juggle love and mess at the same time. Some people might be even wondering, what is this that you guys are talking about? Love and mess do not match. Obviously, we know that. And I don't think anyone desires that, right? I don't want mess in my love life. I don't want a mess or cause a mess or provoke a mess in my relationship. Nobody wants. And yet, we come across so many couples, even singles who today are single, but before they were in a relationship, who messed up big time.
Yeah, trying to solve a problem, they create a new one, sometimes even bigger one. And you might be wondering, what does that actually mean? Does it mean that you live with somebody and your house is a mess? Being in love and having a mess house.
There has nothing to do with physical mess.
No.
Right? It's the mess of the heart, the mess of the soul, the mess that is installed in a person's relationship, right? Due to certain decisions. For example, like the question we are asking people in the streets. Can you forget a previous relationship, a previous partner, previous love by loving somebody else, by being in a new relationship?
That's what people usually do when
Exactly.
when they are heartbroken, they had a serious relationship and they love that person very much. They are so hurt, they want to fix that problem, they want to fix that hurt. So what do? I need to forget that love. So they go and find somebody new to fall in love to solve that problem.
We also have people with issues. I think people may remember, people who watch this show often, they will remember when we spoke about the luggage.
Yes.
Like when a person is full of issues, when a person is carrying so much inside and is not has not dealt with those issues yet, but decides to move into a relationship, not necessarily another, but into a relationship, thinking that if I find someone, I'll be able to forget all that, I'll be able to heal my wounds and so on and so forth. That's when things get worse, out of control.
Yes, and
because that person has not sorted out everything inside. That person perhaps is still empty or sad, upset, doesn't even love himself or herself, and is trying to love somebody else. But that's impossible. You can only give what you have. So that's when the mess develops.
yeah, people keep making decisions with their hearts, with their feelings. The mind, nowhere to be found. They feel like doing something, or they feel like not doing, and they just go for it, and it creates a mess.
Always following the impulses of the heart, and that's one of the things we are constantly hitting on here in this show. Following your heart, following the impulses of your heart. What you feel, those momentary, feelings, knowing that it only causes more pain. I know that what we advocate for here goes against, what the world tells people to do, goes against the flow. But based on experience, our own experience, helping couples, helping singles, and even seeing what's going on around, we see that it's not the way to go. Like in the previous segment, when Rachel was talking about this, what these celebrities are doing. How can you just, divorce your spouse because you realize, no, I need more time for myself, I need to rediscover myself, and so on and so forth. Because of what she saw, that environment that she was in for a couple of days or weeks, she followed her emotions. She ignored reason and followed her emotions. So look at the big mess now. I don't know if they have children, but usually the ones who suffer the most are the children. Like the celebrity that I mentioned, the actor that I mentioned, whose teenage daughter is angry at him right now. Angry. I mean, look at what his decision provoked. Did he think? No, he didn't think. He simply followed his heart.
What you need at the time. Sometimes that's what people do. This is what I need to do. Maybe the intention is good. This is what I need to do for myself. I need to take care of myself for a change. But they're not using their minds. They're just using what they feel. And a perfect example of decision making based on the heart is the guest that we invited. You will see, you'll understand much better what we mean by love and match. Love and mass don't match. How you make one decision and that doesn't work, and of course now you have to make another. And it's a series of decisions that you see is messing up your life, but it keeps growing, the mess keeps growing, and you never find the solution for it.
Yes, and his story is quite amazing because it's unbelievable how things kept going bad for him. But we came to realize as we were talking to him why, the reason why. And there is a root for them. That's what we would like to explore in today's show. Let's take a look at Samuel's story. And we have with us here at the studio Samuel. Hi Samuel, how are you?
Hello, hello. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So you're gonna tell us a little bit about how things got messed up and how you got into this mess.
So yeah, my love life, if I can say that, was pretty much hopeless. You know, from a young childhood, I was born into a wedlock relationship. So my biological mom was married with 5 children, and she then got divorced. And back home in Ghana, the way it works is that once the woman's divorced, she goes back to the family house. And then the children goes and live with the father. So unlike the UK, the father has parental priority over the children. So she was by herself back in the family house. I can feel that it was a shame for her because childhood memories that I have, early memories that I have of her, life was really hard for her. So me coming into the world was, I don't think it was planned, because even to add to that, my dad also had an affair with her. Right. So he was married in Birmingham. He had a wife and 1 child at the time, and he came on holidays and met my mom, and I came about. So I can sense that I wasn't, it wasn't joyous news for them. It's something that had to be kept hush hush. So that's how I came into the world. So I didn't really grow up with 2 parents. So relating that to my love life, there was no role model. There was no good example as to how to learn, to find the right person or to know how to even, build a family. Unfortunately, she passed away at the age of, when I was about 7, which meant I had to then go and live with my stepfather, or the father of my brothers and sisters from my mom's side. And life was pretty hard. And me being by myself, I think the void of losing my mom at such a tender age really changed my life. It really changed things around. I can still remember it vividly, in a sense that before, when she was alive, I was very extrovert, outgoing, very notorious, mischievous. Everybody in the neighborhood knew me. I was always out playing, shouting, everybody knew me. But when she died, it's as though Samuel just went into his shell. Something died in me. Mm-hmm. So my early reference of love life, as you can see already, is a very distorted image, very dark. Not to mention the issues that I had inside of me that I hadn't really dealt with. How can I deal with such issues as a young child? Mm-hmm. Where can I turn to? Nowhere. So eventually I came over to the UK to finally stay with my dad. Then one day I discovered, a porn video, which I think from the experience.
And how old were you by the time you...
I was about 13, 12 going on 13. And I think for me, the fact I had issues within myself, I was looking for that love. I was looking to fill that void. I don't even think I bereaved that much, and I don't think I grieved over my mom's death. I was too young. I still haven't dealt with that. And for me, the porn was my escapism. It was the way that I can actually fill that void. It's crazy thinking that now, but at that time, that's the only escapism I can find. So my mindset in terms of looking for a relationship, it wasn't really, there was no no good background as to how to look for the right person. It was so lust, sex, all these nasty things. But that didn't stop because that's what I knew. Problems were still happening in the household, the family, and until I think at the age of 17, I had my first girlfriend. And
What were your expectations? You had
my
your first girlfriend.
I wanted to find out, I think everybody wants to be happy. You know, I've no doubt I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be happy, not just to fill the void, but to find someone I can share my life with. Because I've been through some pretty hard things, and I wanted somebody who can understand me and also be able to grow up together with me. Because I don't think I really had a good background growing up wise. When I met her, I had all these aspirations in me. You know, I think it's pretty tall order, a lot of pressure that I was putting on myself and her as well. We met in a nightclub, which is not the best place to meet somebody. Not that I have anything against it, but you know, she was into drugs at the time, and I was also smoking already. I started smoking weed at the age of 15. So we were smoking, you know, weed together, going out drinking, even though I shouldn't be doing it at that age, but I was still doing it. And the relationship was brief because she was from Switzerland, and she came over as an au pair. And though I had the aspiration that this was going to last, it's going to be, but eventually we broke up because she went back home. And that was heartbreaking. You know, I remember literally crying because I had all this aspiration, I pinned all my hopes on this, and then she left the country. And I kind of like put part of my love life aside a little because I wanted to focus on my career, a degree.
Well, that's how we get things really messed up. We're gonna delve into Samuel's story a bit more after the break, okay? So don't go anywhere, stick around.